So are you, okay, we got it. Okay, thank you.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about whether labeling GMO imports into Hawaii should be legal or not. I mean, should be required or not. Okay, so how many of you have seen this little picture with shopping? Yeah?
Yeah, I have.
You look for it all the time?
Yes.
To make sure that the food is GMO?
Correct.
Okay, so the thing is that not every food that comes in requires that.
Right.
So it could be completely GMO and we would have no idea. Okay, so little introduction. We live in Hawaii. It's one of the most sought after tourist destinations in the world. As we know, we live here, so there's a lot of tourists all the time. And of course, we live in the middle of the Pacific, so we rely heavily on imported foods to get us through. I mean, there's some things that we lack, like in this next graph, we have a lot of fresh milk. Like we actually export fresh milk and dairy products, but other things such as
We export it?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But like other things such as poultry, like chicken, we don't have much of, so we have to get it imported. And also like goat meat and bacon and stuff like that, we have to import that as well. The problem is, I'm going to state some problems. The following subjects will hopefully expand your view on whether or not we should label our GMO imports. Okay, so one of them is that GMO foods have have unknown health effects towards humans, but there were many tests that were made, and we found a lot done with rats and stuff. And then GMO food producers are not required to have their food screened by the FDA before selling them out to the public. And then finally, the mutant genes of GMO plants spread throughout the area that it's around, so it infects other plants and animals. Okay, need. Why are GMO labels so important? First, as I said, there are unknown health effects. Although there's no solid proof on humans, there is a lot of testing done with rats, and then some of the results showed that rats that were fed genetically modified foods, their reproductive systems crashed. Like 3 generations after feeding GMO foods, the 3rd generation wasn't able to have children at all. And then
It's part of the plan.
yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying. And also, here's just more facts. More than half of the babies of mother rats fed genetically modified soy died within 3 weeks. Female rats fed soy showed changes in their ovaries and uterus, and by the 3rd generation, like I said, most hamsters fed genetically modified foods weren't able to reproduce. The next issue is that there's no required safety pre-screening, so we could be eating genetically modified food that wasn't even tested by the FDA. And then the FDA also stated that they tell people that they don't require it. And
They say it's safe.
no, the FDA just says they don't require any pre-screening. But when it comes to labels and stuff, I mean not labels, reports on the food, they accept reports made by the actual
By Monsanto.
company. Yeah, by the company.
So it sounds like they're in the same cahoots there.
Yeah, kind of. And then here it says that the FDA doesn't require independent pre-market screenings, and they take in reports of the health issues from the actual companies. So they could be lying, there is no way to know for sure. And then also, like, if genetically modified manufacturers state that their food is so safe, then why are they not labeling them? Like,
Good
what's
point.
the issue of not labeling them?
Why would they have a problem with it?
Yeah. And then the final issue with this is the spread of mutant genes. And so we import all of our food, we eat it, and then we throw it out. And then the leftovers of that food can spread through everything. Like wild animals could eat the food that we throw out, and then it just spreads even more and more. And living in Hawaii, half of our stuff is already, or half of our native species have already been
Contaminated?
eradicated by outside things. So, like, could you imagine losing more of it to GMO
Not much
products.
less. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does eating GMO foods affect our DNA? So what you were saying earlier about the rats or the hamsters, in 3 generations,
Mm-hmm.
they were not able to reproduce. So
Mm-hmm.
just by ingesting GMO foods, we could actually change our DNA then.
From the tests that were made on the rats, that's what scientists have come to
Wow.
a conclusion with, is that GMO foods could potentially have the, they have the potential to change our DNA.
That's terrifying.
And then, yeah, like I said, a majority of our native plants have already are already endangered.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, there's some more facts from this one website I used. Thousands of sheep and buffalo, goats in India died after eating, grazing near biotech cotton plantations. And then about 24 U.S. farmers report that their cows fed biotech corn died as well.
Wow.
And this one really got to me. Where is it? I don't think I put it on here. But 5 people in the Philippines reported getting like super sick, or I think a couple of them died, I'm pretty sure, after a cornfield near their village was pollinating. So people have been connecting those two together.
I heard of a case in Spain where a guy was severely allergic to fish, anything fish,
Mm-hmm.
and he ate a tomato, and apparently that tomato was GMO, whatever, they put the DNA of some kind of fish in there to, I don't know what the reason is, but there was animal DNA of a fish in there, and he got all the symptoms of anaphylactic shock and everything because they found out this tomato literally had all the
DNA of a fish.
in there, in a
Yeah.
tomato.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no way of, like, all these mysterious food allergies popping up makes sense.
So there's no way to
Yeah.
really actually tell. Yeah, that's the scary part of it. That's why labels are so important. So you know
Exactly.
what is or what isn't. And okay, so what's in it for us if we do like work on passing this law for labeling? We know what we're eating. That's
Mhm.
one good thing. We know what our kids are eating, so we're not feeding them these chemical injected things that could potentially cause cancer or reproductive issues down the road. And then, okay, so imagine this. Imagine not knowing the effects of what you're eating. Scary?
Mhm.
So genetically modified foods tested on rats have been proven to cause more problems, such as liver problems, cancer, reproductive issues, and sterilization, mostly centered around reproductive issues and sterilization. And imagine eating something that hasn't even been tested. Like, I'm not sure I'd be so comfortable with eating something that hasn't been approved by the FDA.
That makes us lab rats, really.
Exactly, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so the speech was intended to open your minds and hopefully get you all to understand how important labeling is for people, or not for people, like for GMO products, because we want to know what we're eating. And then quick review. So health effects are unknown. Mutant genes can spread throughout the entire Hawaii if we keep importing these. And there's no mandatory testing, which is very sketchy to me.
And on top of that, the copious amounts of insecticides and
Mhm.
herbicides that we
Yeah.
need to keep this thing going, because it just keeps getting out of hand, right? So that's on top of a toxic product, you want to make it even more dangerous.
Even more toxic,
Yeah.
yeah. And then also with the herbicides and the insecticides and the pesticides, like when weeds, for instance, if they get injected with this stuff, then we're gonna have like almost impossible to kill weeds overtaking our forests and.
Is that where the
roads.
super weeds
Yeah,
come from?
exactly.
Yeah. Scary.
And have any of your views changed on GMO?
It's just strengthened my thoughts already, what you shared. Mm-hmm.
And
That I don't think they're good.
oh yeah. Okay, so wrapping it up, I'm just going to show you a couple pictures of the rats that were tested on. So this right here, this is a male rat's reproductive organ, the testicle, and this is a regular one. And these are the ones on that were fed GMO foods. This is also a Monsanto GMO fed rat and a regular rat. And these are no longer working. Like he can't have any kids at all. And then this right here, these are tumors in rats that were all fed different types of GMO, like soy, corn, and I think
Wheat?
I think so, it was wheat. But yeah, they all got tumors, no matter what they ate.
Yikes. Are these cancerous tumors? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And let me just ask you this one last question. Do you want to spend the rest of your life being a lab rat for a big biotechnology company?
No, I do not. 100% oppose of this action, whatever you call it.
So that's why we have to pass labeling so
Yes.
much for our generation and our future generations.
Didn't Obama sign the DARK Act though? Gave them basically a free pass. Monsanto does not have to label.
I'd heard that. I mean, I read about that.
Is there something that we can locally do?
Locally, yeah.
Like through state law or something? I mean, we're still working on the GMO labeling, right? It's
Yeah,
not out
still-
the door yet. It's still in the courts.
That's still in there.
Okay,
But
that's good.
if we all get, like, if everybody agrees and everyone works together and
Understand
tries
it.
their hardest to
Yeah.
pass, like, they all understand it mainly, yeah.
Then you can still make your choices
Mm-hmm.
to do organic growing and eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Oh, it's my bibliography, and thank you.
Thank you.